Find a comfortable seat on the ground. Maybe your legs are crisscrossed or in lotus. Place the hands gently on the knees. And just notice the breath here without controlling it. Just notice the pattern, the length of each inhale and exhale, without trying to change it. Notice the sensations in your body that you are feeling, any sensory around you, sounds, feelings. And then roll your shoulders up and back. Gently open the eyes and reach your hands up over your head. Palms meet together and we bring our hands to our heart in prayer center. Take a short bow, set an intention for the practice. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, place the forearm on the ground and the other arm comes up and over your head. Your arm is glued to your ear and we feel that elongating of the side body. Inhale, sweep the arms back up to center. Exhale, other forearm on the ground, reaching that other hand up and over your head. Making sure that the opposite hip stays glued to the mat. Don't let it come up off of the ground. Go only as far as you can while keeping both hips towards the mat. And then place your hands on your knees and begin to introduce some neck rolls. Releasing tension in the neck, finding some fluidity here. And when you're ready, switch directions and roll your head to the other side. And then bind the hands together, place them at the base of your head where your neck meets your head, and place some gentle pressure here, feeling the release of tension in your neck. Maybe shake your head from side to side. Maybe bring your hands to one side and place some gentle pressure on your neck, bringing it to one side and then the other. Take one last cleansing breath here, and then come up onto your hands and knees into tabletop pose. And we'll introduce some cat-cows, making sure that the knees are under the hips and the wrists are under the shoulders. On an inhale, arch the back, gaze up. Exhale, round the spine, and the gaze shifts towards the navel. Move through these cat-cows at your own pace, feeling the fluidity in your spine and lubricating the spine to prepare for the rest of this challenging practice. And then start to find some free movement here, introducing some hip circles, drawing circles with your bottoms, really feeling the lubrication in the spine and the freedom and movement. Moving through, arching the spine and rounding the spine as you do these movements. Pushing through tabletop, send the hips up and back, elongate through the spine. Feeling the opening of the shoulders here, downward dog. Walk out your dog if your hamstrings are feeling tight. And then walk your hands forward, elongate your dog, and then roll your body forward into a plank position. Stay here for a moment and we'll begin some spinal waves. So send the hips up and back into downward dog and then immediately roll back into your plank position, making sure that your breath is aligning with your movement here. Reminding ourselves of how blessed we are to be able to express ourselves through movement. And then spread the knees about mat width distance apart, letting your torso hang heavy in between the knees. Exhale and release. Feel the elongating through the whole spine, the hips, and the shoulders. On your next inhale, push yourself up through tabletop and then stand up at the top of our mats. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Introduce a baby back bend with your hands in prayer. Exhale, swan dive the hands down to meet the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, step or jump back into a plank position. Leaning forward, slowly lower down into chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra pose. Exhale, feet turn in and send the hips back for downward facing dog. Step or jump to the top of your mat to frame the feet with your hands and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands come into prayer and heart center. One more time, inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, hands come to prayer, behind the head, baby back bend. Exhale, swan dive the hands down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway left. Exhale, step or jump back into chaturanga plank pose. Shift the weight forward as you lower down. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, untuck the toes, downward facing dog. Step or jump to the top of your mat, framing the feet. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift with a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms sweep over the head. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a moment here to regather your awareness and breath as we move into the challenging portion of today's class, Sun Salutation B with a little bit of a twist. So on an inhale, you're going to sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, lower down into chair pose, lifting the heels off of the ground and balancing on the toes. Finding your balance here. If you come out of it, that's okay. Just get right back into it. And for an added challenge, try to lift one foot off of the ground while still staying on your tippy toes. This is really challenging to balance, so just do your best. It might feel really awkward. That's because it is a really awkward pose, but you're definitely going to be feeling it in your hamstrings and glutes. Slowly lower down. The heels are still up off of the ground. You're balancing on your toes. Squat down as far as you can until you reach the bottom. Exhale, forward fold. Step or jump back into plank pose. Lower down, inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, the right leg reaches high to the sky. Exhale, bring that knee to the opposite elbow and then down to the wrist. Slide it to the other wrist and then up to the other elbow. One more time, bring that right leg high up to the sky. Exhale, bring that knee to the opposite elbow, down to the wrist, down to the other wrist, up back to the elbow again, all the way to the sky. One more time, elbow, wrist, wrist, elbow, and then plant that foot in between the hands and lower the back knee. Inhale as you lift the chest and sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, baby back bend, drop the head, and reach towards the back wall as if your torso was an arrow pointing to the back wall. Return to neutral and begin to shift the weight onto the front foot. Inhale, turn the toes under and come up for Ashtha Chandasana, high lunge pose. Exhale, warrior two pose. With every exhale, bend a little bit deeper into the pose, activating the glutes and stabilizing the core. On your next exhale, release the right elbow to the right knee and reach up and over your head, elongating the whole side body from the tip of your fingers to your feet. Inhale, maintain the position of the legs and the angle of the body, but lift that right arm off of your knee. Exhale, that right arm comes down to the inside of your foot and the left arm reaches high up to the sky as you turn your chest open to face the side wall. Inhale, come back up to warrior two. Exhale, flip the hands, reverse warrior, maybe binding here, grabbing the inside of that right hip. Exhale, arms cartwheel down, framing the feet. Step back into a plank position. Exhale, lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, push through the hands and send the hips backward, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg high. Exhale, bend that knee and bring it to the right elbow, down to the right wrist, over to the left wrist, and up to the left elbow. Second time, bring that left leg high up to the sky. Exhale, bend the knee and bring it to the right elbow, down to the right wrists, over to the left wrist, up to the left elbow. Last time, leg lifts high. Exhale, bring that knee to the right elbow, down to the right wrist, over to the other wrist, and then the elbow. Exhale, plant that foot in between the hands and lower the back knee to the mat. Inhale, chest lifts and arms sweep overhead. Exhale, baby back bend here, reaching your hands to the back wall as you let your head drop. Inhale, untuck the toes and lift that back knee up off of the ground, high lunge. Exhale, warrior two pose. On every exhale, bend a little bit deeper into your warrior two. Exhale, place the elbow onto the knee and reach up and over the head, side angle pose. On your next inhale, lift that arm up off of your knee, engaging the core here as much as you can so that you don't lose proper form. Exhale, bring the hand down to the inside of the foot, other arm reaches up to the sky, open up the chest and turn the body to the side of the wall as your gaze shifts towards your hand that's up in the air. Inhale, move through warrior two. Exhale, flip the palms, reverse warrior, maybe grabbing the inside of the hip for a little bind. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame the feet, plank position, chaturanga, lower down. Inhale and tuck the toes, cobra or upward dog, actively pushing through the palms to create some space between your chin and the shoulders. Bend at the knees and windshield wiper your legs from side to side to release some tension in the lower back. Push through the palms, sending the hips back for downward facing dog. Inhale, the weight shifts to the toes, bend your knees and float to the top of your mat. Landing with bent knees, heels are up off of the ground. Bring your hands to heart center and slowly rise to come to Tadasana or mountain pose with the hands at the side or in prayer center. Taking a few breaths here to recenter the body. On your next inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, lower down, lift the heels off of the ground, keeping the weight on the tippy toes. Lower all the way down until your bottom meets your heels. And then find a seat on your mat, transitioning into boat pose. With bent knees, lifting the feet off of the ground, bringing the arms straight out in front of you so that the hands are framing the knees. Exhale, lean back, straighten the legs, and open up the arms. Inhale, back to boat pose with bent knees. Moving through this in and out transition 8 times at your own pace. Once you've finished 8 repetitions, come back into boat pose, this time straightening your legs and holding here in this position for 10 seconds. Exhale, grab the knees and rock and roll, massaging the spine. Make your way to a reclined position and bend your knees. Extend the right leg out in front of you so that it's straight, and then place the left hand on the left hip to stabilize this non-working leg and not allowing it to move during the leg circles. To begin, lower the left leg so that it's in between your calf and your ankle, and then bring it out into a circular motion to the side of your body, and then all the way back up to meet your other leg. Again, bring it down in between the calf and the ankle, circle it around to meet the left knee. Perform 5 of these interior circles and then we'll move to exterior circles on the same leg. Next, perform 5 exterior circles, bringing the leg out to the side and then in between your calf and ankle and then back up to meet the knee. The only difference with this one is that you're going out and then in versus interior circles was going in and then out. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other leg. So lift up the left leg high and place the right hand on the right hip. So bring that leg down in between the calf and the ankle and then out to the side and then to meet the other knee. Again, like the first side, perform this movement 5 times and then we'll go directly into exterior circles. Moving into exterior circles, circle that leg out to the side of your body and then in between your calf and ankle and then back up to meet the knee. When you've finished, pull both knees into the chest, hugging them with your hands, and then rock up to a seated position and stand at the top of your mat. Inhale, arms sweep overhead. Exhale, hands come to prayer center, forward fold. Step or jump back to plank position. Exhale, lower down chaturanga. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, untuck the toes, send the hips backwards, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts high. Flip that hip over so that your toes are pointing towards your head. Exhale, bring that knee in towards the chest and then place it down on the ground, pigeon pose, having your heel pointed in towards the pelvic area. Untuck the back toes and lift the chest for a baby back bend here. Exhale, come back to neutral, or for a challenge, maybe come down onto your forearms or all the way down into sleeping pigeon. A little bit of discomfort is natural in this pose, but if you're feeling any sort of shooting pain or intense pain of any kind, back off, modify, or just completely come out of the pose, and remember to listen to your body. Try to breathe into the places that you feel this discomfort. Send the breath there. Make your way back to downward facing dog, and then inhale, lift the left leg high up to the sky. Exhale, bend at the knee, flip that foot over so it's pointing towards your head. Exhale, bring the left knee into the chest and then place it down for pigeon pose. Inhale, open the chest, roll the shoulders back for baby back bend. And then exhale, come back to neutral or come onto your forearms or into sleeping pigeon. Once again, in this pose, if you don't feel any pain, but just a feeling of discomfort, that is totally natural. Send the breath to that place and just surrender fully into the pose, focusing on the breath. Let go of any tension, unclench your jaw, part the lips slightly, and try to find a sense of relaxation in this pose, even though it might be a little bit uncomfortable. Meeting back in downward dog, bring the weight to the tippy toes, bend the knees, and float to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands come to prayer center or by the sides of the body. Taking just 2 breaths here, and then coming into a supine position on your mat. The soles of the feet come to touch, and wiggle your shoulders in closer to each other to open the heart. Gently place your hands on your thighs, maybe placing some gentle pressure here to open up the hips, or pulling the thighs in towards you. Close the knees, and we'll do some knee drops, so just dropping the knees from one side and then the other side. Finally, entering Savasana, extend the legs out straight in front of you. Arms can be by your side, on your heart, on your belly, or wherever feels most comfortable. Gently close the eyes and notice the breath. Notice the sensations around you. Are there any sounds? What are the sounds in your immediate space? What are the sounds outside? Are you warm, cold, hungry, sore? How do the clothes feel on your body? Does your shirt feel different from your pants? Is your hair tickling your face? Can you become so still and self-aware that you hear your own heartbeat? What can you change to cultivate stillness? Can you drop the jaw and part your lips? Can you disengage your muscles that are active right now, like letting the feet fall? however they may naturally? Can you become so still that you begin to feel weightless? Begin to deepen the breath. And then start to introduce some movement in the toes and the fingers, just moving them around. And then start to create circles with the wrists and the ankles. And bind the hands together and reach up over your head for a good morning stretch, engaging all of the muscles in your body, and then releasing. And then turn to your favorite side, using your arm as a headrest, and the other hand for stability by your chest. Stay here for just a moment. Practice gratitude and thank yourself for showing up. And then when you're ready, push your body up. Come to a comfortable seated position. Place the hands on the knees. Gently blink the eyes open and reach your arms up overhead so that the palms meet. Exhale, hands come in between the eyebrows or the third eye. May all people everywhere be happy and free. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.